Recently, a Twitter post titled "Something Big is Happening" went viral. It came from Matt Schumer, CEO of Hyperwrite, a redundant AI writing tool that was probably used to pen the post itself. And it shows, since the whole thing reads like ChatGPT ghostwriting for someone who sold NFTs and vacuum sealed beanie babies to buy real estate in the metaverse. Since Schumer spent little effort on his crapstone, I'll do the same and give you the spark notes. It's a long-winded hybrid of fan fiction and fear-mongering that overhypes the capabilities of LLMs. The piece even goes as far as claiming LLMs are quote-unquote much bigger than COVID. Because nothing competes with 15 million deaths like summarizing work emails with the click of a button. Ridiculous as it is, Schumer's viral post is a microcosm of an issue that's plaguing every industry right now, especially marketing, my own. And that issue is AI gaslighting. AI gaslighting is when sensationalized claims about AI make you doubt your own perception of it. It convinces you that the technology is coming for your job, or that you have to aggressively adopt it in ways that could hurt your marketing, or worse, your career. Hype and gaslighting are two different things. Hype oversells what AI can do for you. Gaslighting makes you feel that failing to meet these inflated expectations is your fault, and that you're falling behind. Whether it's malicious or even intentional largely depends on the source, and by my estimation, there are three. First, we have the grifters. This is where the gaslighting starts. These are people financially vested in AI who use a mix of hype and fear tactics to sway investors and convince people they'll be left behind if they don't buy in. This group loves to exaggerate their product's capabilities, like our friend Schumer, who got caught straight up lying about his. Or more recently, Builder.ai, which oversold its AI's ability to build apps autonomously, even though human developers did much of the work. Maybe AI here stands for an illusion. The grifters also include rogue consultants and agencies promising to future-proof your business by selling you homespun workflows gussied up in superficial complexity. Most of what they sell is usually precarious, fragile, and unscalable. But if you just comment AI on their LinkedIn posts, their secrets could be yours. For a fee, of course. This is common in SEO, where self-proclaimed GEO experts promise to get you ranking in AI search results, only to torch your website like Joe Pesci's scalp in Home Alone. Last in this bunch are select influencers and creators. What's worse than sensationalist content? Getting paid to create it. From LinkedIn posts about building generic apps with Claude Code, to Instagram Reels unironically praising Microsoft Copilot, influencers are getting paid upwards of $600,000 to make sure you know how insane these tools are. Pay me enough and I'll praise anything too. Except mayo.
I hate mayo.
Next, we have the media. This is where the gaslighting gets amplified. Large parts of the media have been complicit in stoking fears about everything from job displacement to sentient agents because sensational headlines earn eyeballs and keep advertisers happy. Moreover, many media companies hold financial agreements with AI firms, and some reporters are even publishing books about AI, which means both have skin in the game. Podcasters are also part of this group. Like sports talk show hosts covering every team in every league, they can't possibly know it all, so they default to hot takes and broad stroke angles. When they speculate about AI use cases that don't exist, or host a grifter pushing their products without scrutiny, the hype spreads, reinforcing false narratives. There is no shortage of irresponsible AI narratives circulating in the media right now, and they're largely going unchecked. Cal Newport calls this phenomenon vibe reporting. Last, we have the novice adopters. This is where the gaslighting gets false validation. Novice is a double entendre here. It describes those who are new to a particular AI tool or feature, and also those who are new to whatever discipline they're using it for. Sometimes both at once. This group is easily wowed when a tool or workflow does the thing, without criticizing how well, how reliably, or at what cost, because they lack the expertise to scrutinize it themselves. So they gush about it everywhere, using LinkedIn zombie speak, claiming LLMs are reshaping their industry and warning us that we're not ready for the fabled shift. Then they go down a rabbit hole, tinkering more and more until what started as a simple project mutates into a Rube Goldberg machine that breaks apart like a freshly opened Nature Valley bar. On the Joe Reese show, Cory Doctorow pointed out that most people in this group tend to use AI for things they have little to no expertise in, lacking what the Germans call Fingerspitzengefühl, or fingertip feeling. This is the skilled intuition you get only from thorough first-hand experience. Without it, you're blind to the hazards and interdependencies of what you're building. Vibe coding is a perfect example. As a Reddit developer put it, LLMs aren't replacing developers. They're just shifting time from coding to debugging. If you know how to code, that might be obvious. If you don't, you might think that debugging is the art of removing head lice. The tricky thing about this group is that it can include people that you trust, like your friends, family, colleagues, and even your boss. We've all heard about executives who don't exactly understand LLMs, but mandate the use of them top down anyway. Well, guess what? They've been gaslit too. An IBM study found that 64% of CEOs invested in AI purely because of FOMO. Okay, let's put the boom and doom aside for a second and look at the facts. LLMs are not sentient. Agents won't take your job. No one is vibe coding legacy SaaS products out of existence, and you're not winning your customers' loyalty by hosing them in the face with AI-generated content and touch points. Despite what the gaslighters will tell you, 95% of businesses haven't seen ROI from LLMs, and many never will. The 5% that do succeed focus on a single pain point, often repetitive back-office tasks. Despite this, most AI spend is desperately forced into sales and marketing where measurable ROI is rare, because these are disciplines that rely on human judgment, interaction, and cultural nuances that cannot be replicated with AI. This makes a lot of sense when you ignore the gaslighters and look at the fundamental flaws of LLMs themselves. Firstly, they're unintelligent. Contrary to the AI tag, LLMs don't actually know anything. They're predictive models that generate the most statistically likely next token. That's it. There's no reasoning, understanding, or judgment behind the output. Second, they're unreliable. They hallucinate often, and that can never be fixed. Not with RAG, MCP, or anything else. OpenAI said so themselves. Hallucinations are inherent to how LLMs work. On top of that, LLMs and AI agents are easy pickings for cybersecurity threats like prompt injections, something many OpenClaw users learned the hard way. Lastly, they're unstable as it stands today. The cost of energy and capital needed to sustain LLMs far outweighs the overall value they deliver right now. Soon, AI companies will have to stop subsidizing usage costs to drive adoption, which means tokens are about to get prohibitively expensive for many. All those inevitable iterations, pivots, and refinements that are inherent to marketing hit a lot differently when they cost an arm and a leg. It'll be like Chuck E. Cheese. We'll be sinking more and more money into tokens to play probabilistic games that spit out prizes we could have gotten cheaper and with less hassle somewhere else. And when the cost of tokens outweigh employee salaries, which are you keeping? Your people or your tools? So what happens when marketers are gaslit by these groups? They start grappling with AI anxiety. That creeping fear that you're falling behind and that everyone else figured out something that you haven't. Left unchecked, AI anxiety gives way to something far more damaging: AI stupidity. Marketers start dumping money into more tools, burn hours on fleeting masterclasses that exploit the naive, and worse, they start to contort their strategies to accommodate AI instead of the people they're supposed to be serving. They start taking crappy advice seriously, like using AI to rapidly scale content for SEO rankings, or burning hours stringing together tools and APIs for labyrinthine vibe marketing workflows, or trusting AI to write your content, or leaving data analysis to an AI agent that has more acid flashbacks than my uncle. These are things that not only hurt your marketing, but they also hurt your career. And they can even expose your clients or your employers to serious cybersecurity threats. As Seth Godin puts it, marketing is the generous act of helping someone solve a problem, their problem. But AI stupidity has turned marketers inward, away from the customer and toward the tools, the tactics, and the process. Instead of being market-driven, they've become marketing-driven. And that's a deadly mistake in this business. Listen, I'm not losing sleep over the seasoned marketer who gets ambitious with AI and burns their hand. They have the reputation and experience to recover. I'm worried about the newcomer who doesn't. The young professional who comes in already gaslit, builds their entire understanding of the craft on that foundation, and never learns that marketing was always about the audience, not their own work efficiency. The grifters want you to believe LLMs are a magic button that levels the playing field between the skilled and the newcomer, that the tools close the gap. They don't. When I moved into my old house, I hired a young plumber to install a water softener. He had the tools, the training, and a fair price, so it seemed like a good deal. Until he misinstalled it and flooded out my basement. Fortunately, he paid to fix his mistakes, and I found a veteran plumber who got the job done with no issues. The young plumber had everything the veteran had, except the fingertip feeling that only comes from years of doing the work. The tool doesn't make you an expert. Only the work does. Look, I am not anti-AI. I work with LLMs, agents, and other AI tools on a daily basis. I am, however, anti-bull, and there is a lot of it surrounding AI. Here's how to protect yourself from AI gaslighting and falling into AI stupidity. First, be critical of your information sources. Be clear where their interests lie before taking them seriously. And remember that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. When you catch AI gaslighting in the wild, call it out and ask the hard questions. These are the same folks that quickly abandon ship for the next big trend when it comes around. So know them well because they'll pop up again. Next, explore the tools yourself. Learn firsthand what their limitations and capabilities are before introducing them to your work. Just don't let the experimentation distract you from the work itself. That's a slippery slope. Before deploying AI anywhere meaningful, be clear on how it actually benefits the task. Much of what you might want to automate can be done with APIs, webhooks, and if this then that triggers. No AI required. When you deploy AI, keep it in low consequence areas where the cost of mistakes are minimal. Again, this usually means under the hood, low impact busy work. It's not sexy, but it's safer. If you want to push it into higher stakes use cases, do yourself a favor and develop a real fingertip feeling for the discipline first, or you'll end up like the young plumber. Be critical of your outputs. Don't be impressed just because it does the thing or comes close. Ask how well it actually does it and whether constantly polishing it is worth your time. As the Reddit developer said, if you save time doing but double it reviewing, you're not saving much time at all. Lastly, don't get dependent. The AI bubble is real, and the economics surrounding it are unsustainable in their current state. Again, prices and access will change. Many wrapper tools, and potentially even the foundational models they're built on, can go away or morph into something different altogether. If your work leans heavily on these tools, you could be in for a ride. Am I saying that marketers should avoid using AI and that the technology itself is worthless? No. If it makes your life a little easier and doesn't compromise your work, your employers, or your clients, eat your heart out. There are plenty of useful things you can do with AI, like having it structure your resignation letter as a haiku. Roses are red, violets are blue. This job, and you too. But here's the reality. Just because AI is useful to you personally doesn't mean that it delivers hard ROI for your organization or your customers. At the end of the day, when the lights come on, LLMs are, at best, productivity tools, and at worst, they're clunky ones. But with or without them, it's your judgment and your fingertip feeling that really makes you valuable. And that's something that no LLM could ever replace.